that the sales tax for the county is shared between, is cut 10 times. Each city gets a share, which there are 9 cities in the county. And then the county itself gets a share. So that 1% is split 10 times.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, one more question. Are sales tax, are they 7 years, or is there a standard number?
No,
Do you do
it's
less,
sales
or
tax.
do you do more? I mean,
It sunsets, I believe, doesn't it?
but
No.
it's sales tax.
No, not on sales.
The 0.04 does.
Special sales tax.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right. And you
yes.
get a
And
1%.
so it's a special sales tax, it is designated, I think somebody asked that question earlier. It is designated, and it can only by state statute be used for rock to improve a road. So if that means you're hauling dirt in, or you're hauling whatever to improve that road or put a crossroad, it does not include a driveway to. It does not include that. And by the way, thank you for bringing that up. That sunsets at the end of 2025. So if you want that, if you want to have that additional money coming back to the county to use for roads, it will be on the ballot for sure. That one will be to be renewed for another 7 years.
You know where you're at.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
One of the things that we also have to deal with on the reservation is we have non-Native Americans out there that live on the reservation that do pay taxes. We have Native Americans out there that pay taxes, and sometimes they don't get to, if they want to build a building, they can't come to our facility, they have to go through the tribe, but they need services that we provide them too, because they pay taxes.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing to consider as well. We've all sat out and met with them and talked to them and gone over issue after issue, and I'll throw this, go ahead.
Yeah, and you bring up the fact that services, one of the other things that we don't get is vehicle tax anymore off of prairie vans, because they have their own license plate. So they drive on, all roads lead to that.
Yeah.
We don't have any choice in that.
Do they vote in the county?
Absolutely.
Yep.
They have, yeah, and Dick said it well, dual citizenship, if that's what you will. They, Dan takes up most of his district, or a lot of his district is on the res. So anyway, any other questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to circle back.
Can you stand? I can't hear very well.
Circle back to do any of you guys remember the name Fred Bear?
Yeah.
You guys do?
Yeah.
Okay, when he ran our county jail, he was profitable on that part of it. And at that time, it supported a lot of the sheriff's budget. Would you be willing to circle back to him and ask him what we can do to try to make that more of a, since the county can't make money, that's the only department that I could see that could bring revenue into our county.
So that's a great point.
I was going to say, one of the things that has changed over the years is that we are not housing as many prisoners from the Marshal Service, from the feds, other counties, because people saw how good that was. They got the business. There's a lot of places that have built jails, and they're housing them, and it's getting spread out. The pie's getting cut in a little bit smaller pieces
So
all the time.
just to give you an idea, if Tim wasn't housing prisoners out there, to fulfill his budget right now as it is, it'd cost the county about $800,000 to $900,000 annually more in ad valorem or sales tax or whatever to fund it. So he is making money and he is saving the county by housing prisoners. Because that's a tough game out there. It's tough. With the mental illness, the health, you bring a prisoner in. I talked to Tim this morning. Once they go into our jail, they're our responsibility. I shouldn't say property, they're our responsibility. And Carrie, you could probably speak to this, how many prisoners have been brought into your hospital. And we got to have expensive insurance or foot the bill, and Tim does a wonderful job of managing that, and I'll make no bones about it. He does a really good job. He has really good staff running that place out there.
Well, just as an outside looking in, you're trying to think of something that, to generate money, because no other department can really generate, so that's what.
Actually, our landfill does. Our landfill actually makes money.
Banner Creek's right.
Banner Creek makes money.
Yeah.
Kurt out here, next time you see him, you ought to give him a hug. And if you did that, he'd just go, why is everybody hugging me? But he has done a phenomenal job out there, and he's almost to the point where he's self-sufficient. And if he continues on the path that he is, I think if he could get electricity out there, he would be in a few years. He does a great job of managing that place and does well.
But you're also talking about the community took an investment at one time, and we have to look at that forefront as well as we're planning for the future in other areas. Like, that was a thing the community planned for, and it became now self-sufficient. We need to be doing that also, even though people say they don't want to support that economic development. We still cannot shut that down. We need to be open-minded and still be working to find that sweet spot so we can keep those things happening and going in our county.
I think if we were able to get the legislation in here, and I think if we could drop the mill levy by 15 or 20 mills, you would see businesses flocking to this county to do business here.
I hope you're right.
because-
We need that.
Because Rowdy, there was a gentleman here,
Sure.
and he made the comment that, what's the name, of Coffee County. That's where they built their latest facility, right?
Those are good news.
And he said it's because the mill levy was so low. What he failed to tell you was, each mill in Coffee County is worth about $600,000 and some change. They have a little thing called Wolf Creek.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sure.
give us Wolf Creek and we'll do the same thing. I mean,
But we need to look at those opportunities, right? And be
and
prepared.
I think Don brought one up. I think he made a great point back there. Yeah,
If you can be reimbursed by the federal government for the tries here,
for the lost properties,
For the
not for the, but yeah, I just want
for
to make sure
any
that.
lost revenue,
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect way to phrase that.
would you consider banning solar and wind in Jackson County?
Boy, that's a great question. Can you get that done for us? I mean,
I'll
go-
go work. I'll go help him lobby.
that's a great question. I mean, I don't think it's up to us to ban it. I think it's our job to write
Thank you.
regulation. Thank you. But
I think that, there,
It's
you know, I
something to
think
think
that
about.
what we've said all along is that it's our job to write the regulations and protect the county and protect the citizens.
Let me know.
And if somebody can come in and fit a business plan into those regulations, then so be it. That would be, to me, that would be like us, writing a regulation that says, you know, specifically, we're not going to allow X, Y, Z in this county.
yep, we're gonna wrap up here unless there's other questions that deal specifically.
Yeah.
You get to be the last one tonight.
Well, I appreciate that.
Speak loud.
So I assume that sales tax that's going to sunset, was that sometime in '25?
That's the .04 amount that is used specifically for roads. We can't use it on anything else. We can't buy bubble gum, Dr. Pepper.
And you still collect the 4%, but now it can be used somewhere else, .04. Okay, will it be, is the money just lost? That money doesn't show up anymore?
It will, once it sunsets, it will go away.
The sunset like a loot loss
Goes away.
every year?
Yeah, it's cut off.
I was hoping that we could, that whatever tax was going to sunset, we could just put this sales tax off and just, okay, dude, this one went away and this one showed up and they're the same amount. Wouldn't that be great? Doesn't sound like that's the case, but that was my hope.
Yeah, so we would have to make up, so if the .04% went away and sunset at the end of '25, we would have to make up in the county budget, one of two things would have to happen. About $900,000 would just never be spent anymore on rock and gravel, or we'd have to make that up through property taxes. I mean, those are the two facts.
Well, that's where you landed, but there's other options, right?
Which,
Well, tighten your belt, don't rock
We did.
the tribe.
We
There's-
cut $200,000 out of road and bridges budget this year.
Well, what you said about not rock the tribe, it's not the tribe.
We don't, we're not rocking their roads.
Roads that are on the reservation.
They belong to the county.
I'm just trying, find the savings somewhere else. The whole, the theory, the theme that I've heard here several times tonight is that, you know, my paycheck doesn't change. I'm on, you know, retired, whatever. So I have to figure out a way to live. So in this contracting economy,
Yeah.
it seems like that things have to contract, not just for the citizens, but for the governments. And I think that we can assume that to me it's obvious that the economy is contracting and it's not expanding. And to go build new things and ask for additions here and additions there, this might not be the right time to do that because the money's not available.
What additions and build things?
Library, hospital, I don't know.
We're not building a library.
I thought we were looking to make an addition.
Pardon me?
He's talking about as in our town, our community.
That was brought up, but that wasn't a focus initially.
Well, we did give them
The
money.
county doesn't have anything to do
It's
with water.
affecting, you know, all of us, right? That's what I think he's saying. Those things are affecting all of us. It may not be what you're in charge of, but they affect all of us.
Sure. Yeah, good point. Thank you, sir. All right, I think we're gonna call this done.